All right, guys, here we go. This is week 4 of our 6 week cycle. So we got Monday, we're going to build off our pull ups. So this time is going down again. EMOM 7, we're going for 4 to 8 unbroken pull ups. So use the same progression you've been already doing. And we want to see basically more reps done across a shorter period of time. So if you look back at last week, basically you should be doing more reps than you did the last time. Or you can match the same number of reps, but we're shortening the amount of time. So let's say like last week you did 20 reps in 8 minutes. See if you can hit 20 reps in 7 minutes now. So now you're kind of doing more intensity, or I should say density, within the amount of time. And that's going to really challenge those muscles with the fatigue side of things. So your stamina, and it's going to allow you to kind of build that up a little bit more. So today, again, it's all about looking back at what you progressed with in the previous weeks. If you're not sure, let's pick something that you think you can do 7 sets of consistently. So that means every minute on the minute for 7 minutes, and something that you can do unbroken of between 4 to 8 reps there. When we're done that, our workout's a pretty fun one to start off Monday. It's a AMRAP 15, 3 wall walks, 6 hang dumbbell clean and jerk. So these are kind of like a hang power clean and then into a jerk overhead. You're gonna do 6 on one side, 6 on the other side, and then follow that up with 12 box jump overs. So we're doing some gymnastics and weightlifting and our conditioning movement there. We're gonna try to just keep a very consistent pace in this one. So you want to really focus on like sitting into a pace that you can sustain. It's like a little uncomfortable, but you're holding on to that pace for the 15 minutes. You'll get to that kind of 8-10 minute mark and it's going to feel challenging, but you still want to see if you can hang on until the end. And then that last couple minutes, like really try to push and empty the tank. We're working on our endurance here, so we want to really focus on getting into a sustainable pace, something that we can maintain rather than just going out real hot right off the gate. So the wall walks will start to build up. Those kind of make you breathe a little heavier. It's nice when you get into the dumbbell hang clean and jerk, you can kind of like open up and kind of breathe a little bit better, but it's still time under tension there. So strategize, go into it with a little bit of a plan. So that will start your Monday off. Into the next day, we got our back squat progression, 4 rep max this time. So we are in the heavier sets. We're really kind of challenging the neurological aspect of our strength. So now we're kind of putting all those pieces together. We got to see all those muscles fire up, our tensioning to be there to be able to do those 4 reps. And you're going to take that same amount of time, 20 minutes. Let's build up to a heavy 4 rep max, 5 to 6 sets to build up to that. And again, like this is going to be kind of something you should aim for compared to last week, should be a little heavier. So if you did like random number 225, we want to see you do like 235 or 245 just because the reps are going down. And as always, like technique, form, always there. So if you are seeing that kind of suffer, obviously let's not push the weight there. So, but other than that, that 4 rep max, let's see it kind of bump up compared to the last week, which we did a 6 rep max. And then if you haven't caught on already, next week will be a 2 rep max. So we are going to go heavier again the next week. But with that said, into the workout, this one is a little bit of a interval style, but there's some interval changes along the way. A lot of it is going to be about kind of a high intensity in this one. So we're only working for a short period of time. So we want to make sure we're getting everything out of it. So it's going to really test like your anaerobic endurance. That's where like you start to feel the lactic acid kind of build up. The lungs are kind of getting that kind of like, you getting that blood taste kind of in the lungs. That's the type of endurance we're working on here. So it's 4 rounds. We're going to be going 20 seconds on the bike. Then we're going to rest for 10 seconds. Then we're going to go 20 seconds of burpees, rest for 10 seconds. Then we're going to grab our med ball and we're basically throwing that med ball, twisting and throwing against the wall for 20 seconds just on one side. And then we're going to rest 40 seconds. Then do the other side. And basically we're just kind of mirroring what we just did. So med ball, twist and throw, burpees, and then the salt bike. Then we're going to go right back to the top and repeat again. So this one is a good one. It's going to really kind of like push you to challenge that higher end or top end kind of speed. So you are going to breathe a little heavier. You're going to start to feel those muscles burn a little faster, quicker. Try to see if you can keep those 4 rounds as consistent as you can across those kind of high intensity 20-second quick intervals. So it should be a good one, different. We are hitting different energy systems with today, more of that sprint pace than that long kind of marathon pace. So with that said, with the marathon pace, actually Wednesday is going to be more of our endurance day. We're going to be testing or working on our aerobic endurance. So this means like more of the long kind of duration. Like we're trying to hold a sustainable pace for a long period of time. So how this works is every 6 minutes for 5 sets, we're going to do 500 meters for the guys, 400 meters on the rower, 15 wall balls, and then 15 kettlebell swings. And the idea is like, let's try to keep the same time per round. So if you were to measure, okay, across these 5 sets, if your times were consistent, that means you hit a good pace that was sustainable for you, and you're getting that endurance stimulus or that endurance dosage out of the workout. If you find that your times are like, first one is like 4 minutes, then it's 4:30, then the next one is 5, and then 5:30, you're seeing a trend of slowing down. So that means maybe what would be the average of that? Maybe we hold a 5-minute pace instead of going out really hot and try to do 4 minutes. And I know it's like finish faster so you get more rest, but you do suffer for that later on. So keep that in mind when you guys are doing today's workout. Go in with it like a little bit of a slower pace in the beginning and then kind of adjust it. Usually I'll do that to kind of like get my feet into the workout a little bit and kind of feel it out. And then once I can kind of see like, okay, where I'm breathing heavy or where do I need to kind of like catch my breath, then I can manage my pace a little bit better for the next set to follow up from that. So really be mindful of that going into this workout and keep track of your times. You do want to have about 1 to 2 minutes of rest in between. And if it's like barely getting any rest, then I would drop the reps down or the distance down. So that you can kind of be, I would say, between a 4 to 5 minute kind of pace to finish those 3 things. So that's our Wednesday workout. So following that up, we got our Thursday workout, which is going to be our gymnastic strength to start. So we're going to do something a little different. We're doing 30 strict seated rope L pull-ups. This is a challenging one because we're going to have to hold a L position while trying to pull ourselves up into kind of a pull-up from the rope. So it's going to feel really new if you haven't done this before. So some of you guys might have the strength to be able to do it. Some of you might be just focusing on a rope pull-up. Maybe you're working on a jumping pull-up with a slow descent on the way down. But that rope is going to add a new dynamic to how you grip and how you pull. Different like fibers of your biceps are going to be activating, your lats are going to be activating, your arms are kind of in versus outwards when you're doing a pull-up. So it's really good. We're keeping like the movement novel and challenging different angles and forces on our body. And again, all to make you guys stronger or your upper body pulling and work on your midline as well. So 10 minutes to kind of work on that. Obviously just do one at a time and build yourself up there. And if it's feeling real hard, definitely scale back. If you need a more of a challenge, work up to that L position pull up from the ropes. To follow up that workout, we're going to be doing a descending rep scheme of double unders with an ascending rep scheme of Turkish get-ups. So this workout is really all about the Turkish get-ups today, and we're just working on our midline. So 100 double unders to start, 3 Turkish get-ups per side, 75 double unders, 6 Turkish get-ups per side, 50, then 9, 25, and then 12. So the Turkish get-ups are slow. They take time. They're a really good one because they're going to be challenging your midline, your shoulder stability, a lot of proprioception. So what that means is kind of like knowing where your body is in space because you're going to be focusing on the dumbbell. So you kind of have to understand like, oh, where's my shoulder? Where's my hand? So that I can kind of position and weave my feet through to be able to do the full Turkish get-up. So really cool movement. And we're going to test it a little bit under fatigue today, but a lot of it is going to be the focus on that. So midline and working on that midline endurance, like your core endurance, would be kind of the key stimuli of today's workout. Going into the next day, we got our not gymnastics, but our Olympic lifting. So we are going to work on our power cleans here. Before we do that, we're doing our pause vertical jump. So really emphasizing balance in our feet and jumping straight up, because pretty much when we're doing Olympic lifting, that's kind of what we're doing. We're kind of doing a really aggressive jump to drive that bar up into our clean position. So we're going to use that to prime it and also work on a little bit of speed and plyometrics too as well. Especially like this kind of movement is very foundational to athleticism. So being able to jump and how to position yourself is very important. There's a lot of transferable skills into your body and how to like coordinate different areas. So whether you are athletic or not, this is a great movement to always consistently work on. So that's why I want to put it back in, and not just always about box jumps and always doing them. Just like, let's work on the jump on its own. But cool thing is it carries over into our hang power clean today, because we're going to be using that explosive strength. We're doing 2 hang power cleans at a moderate heavy weight, and you want to be making those challenging for yourself, but obviously keeping good technique and form. When we finish that workout, we are going to be doing some kind of clean, but we're doing squat cleans for this workout. And we're going to pair it with a gymnastics movement, a ring dip. We're doing an AMRAP 8, so that means this is a quick one. There's no water breaks in these 8 minutes. We're moving fast. So we want to make sure the progressions we choose, we can keep a good pace with. We're going to start with 1 ring dip and then 2 squat cleans, 2 ring dips, 4 squat cleans, 3, 6, 4, 8. And you're just going to follow that pattern until the 8 minutes are over. So biggest thing with this one is the ring dips are going to probably blow up the fastest. However, they are a little bit less in reps. So there's a better balance between those 2 movements. So there's a good push, there's a good pull, a squat in there. So you'll be breathing heavy from the squat cleans. The ring dips will really challenge kind of like your arms and your midline too as well. So the pairing of those 2, you're going to get a real kind of strength, skill, and stamina type workout today. So you're getting all those 3 qualities. When you go into this one, sit into like a good pace where you can hold for 8 minutes and like maximize those 8 minutes. Like pretend going into today, it's like the only or last workout you're ever going to do. Just get everything kind of out of it. Wring the towel out in this one. So you want to make sure, like, again, like I said, no water breaks. You're moving for pretty much almost every second of this workout, unless you're kind of like just taking quick little breaks in between. But you shouldn't be resting for 10, 20, or 30 seconds in this. There's not enough time to do that. So pick those progressions that are best suited for you, and then keep that good kind of pace across those 8 minutes. Going into the next day, Saturday, we are going to build up to a 2 rep max strict press. So last week we were at 3 rep max, 2 rep max this time. So we should see a little bit of an increase in weight. Look back at what you did. If you're not sure, just today is the day to kind of see where you're at with your upper body pressing. And this transfers over into a lot of movements. Like it moves, like, let's call it like jerks if you're working on that. If you're working on a snatch, it helps you with gymnastics. If you're working on your strict handstand push-ups, which we're actually seeing the workout. Also, like in daily life too as well. It's like when you're trying to pick something up and put overhead, or you're lowering something, these movements are very transferable into life too as well. So there's a lot of cool ways it can kind of spill over into different areas. It just depends on what your goals are. But overall, the first half is that 2 rep max strict press, and then we're going to follow that up with kind of a strength stamina workout where we're hitting our core and we're hitting the upper body with more of a strict kind of approach. So expect to feel that fatigue quick. It's a 10-minute workout with 15 strict knees to elbows and then 15 strict handstand push-ups. The combo of those 2, like the push and the pull, are really going to add up and actually help with strength building too. We're going into a round of 13, then 11, and then 9 and 7. I'd like to see this workout be done somewhere around that 6 to 8 minute mark. Then we know like you're putting that good intensity into it and it was a good challenge. However, if you do these sets unbroken, then it's probably not challenging enough for you. So I would say like you're probably breaking this up into sets of 3 or 5 at a time because it's tough. If it's not challenging, bump up that progression, because you're going to get a totally different workout out of this, especially if you finish in 3 minutes. You're not getting the stimulus out of today's workout. So, for example, if you're good with strict handstand push-ups, let's say, go to a deficit, make it more challenging. but we shouldn't see you do these unbroken. You're breaking these up a minimum of 3 times, I would say, for every set, because it feels hard and you kind of have to take that time to kind of shake out your arms. That way we're hitting that strength and stamina for today's workout, being the stimulus of it. Lastly, last workout of the week being Sunday's workout, which is going to be our Choose Our Adventure strength starter. So that's going to be 5 sets of 5, deadlift, front squat, or weighted lunge, up to you guys. And again, like if you're not sure what to focus on, talk to your coach with it. If you want to just keep it varied and just work on, just randomly pick one, do something you haven't already done this week and just keep it fresh for yourself. I would really first focus on technique and make sure you're moving well with that. And then if the technique's there, then it's like, okay, let's build up a little bit heavier. So don't get too crazy with it today, especially if you don't have that much experience with these movements. Let's definitely kind of focus on moving well before you guys kind of drive the weights up. And then our workout, this is a fun one. This one's a choose your own adventure. We got 15 minutes to get through 100 cal row, 100 sit-ups, and 100 burpees. You pick how you want to break it up, whatever that strategy is for you. Maybe you're going to do 100 rounds of one, or you're going to break it up into 10 sets of 10, 10, 10. It's really up to you how you want to do it, or you want to get one out of the way and then move to the other. Just choose something that will keep you consistent and maximize whether it's the more reps you get done in 15 minutes or the time you get. So optimizing like how quick you can get this workout done. But it's a good one to kind of finish the week, and that will segue us into the next week there. So I hope you guys have fun with this one, and we'll see you guys next week for the next set of programming.